Good morning, everyone. Welcome along to today's webinar. Today we're looking at the brand new update for Sage 50 Accounts, and it's version 33. So we're going to be looking at what's new and maybe some of the things that have been introduced as well, but already available without version 33, but just to raise your awareness of them as well. I'm going to cover a couple of those as well. Session should take about half an hour max today. So it's just really to give you a bit of a, I suppose, a little bit of a whirlwind update as to what those enhancements are. Right, this is our agenda for this morning's session. So as I mentioned, short and sharp this morning. So we'll start with installing and upgrading. We'll then pick up on the sort of the what's new side of things, a couple of those services to mention. We're also going to cover what's coming soon. So Sage Expenses, you won't have heard anything about that just yet, but it's planned for release early next year, very early next year, possibly even January, but we've just held that back for the time being. So we're going to tell you a little bit about that. I'm going to show you how you can get involved if you've attended my sessions before, anywhere where I think, well, some people will maybe not use that and they'll want to start using it. How can you get involved? How can you submit your feedback, suggestions for changes to the software? I'm going to quickly cover that towards the end as well. And then right at the end, just explain a little bit more about the additional support just as normal. And if there are any outstanding questions that I can pick up at that point, I'll do that. If there's any that I can't, maybe I'll need to go away and just check some things for you. Then we'll just normally send you an email later on today at some point. Right, okay, so let's get started. Now, it is obviously worth mentioning straight off the bat about installation and also upgrading. And the big question, when will you get version 33? Well, it's actually available now. It's available to download. I've included the link to our install hub if you are desperate to get hold of that. However, you won't be notified initially. The software, as we've done over the last few years, will be released in a staggered approach. So it means that not everyone is trying to download it and install it at the same time. And it does mean it frees up our support line a little bit. So if you're struggling to get through, you can imagine installing, even at the best times, installation can take a little while to run through. And there's always environmental issues to consider when you're trying to install, whether it's access rights or network issues, etc. So those types of calls take quite a while to support customers with at times. So as I say, we have this staggered approach so that not everyone's trying to contact our support line that has an issue at the same time. So you will be prompted in the normal way via things like email and auto update. However, if you do want to get hold of that, what you can do is just head along to the install hub. I'll just quickly share my screen and I'll bring up my browser there. And if I just pop into I'll just type in what I just put on the screen there. So sage.co.uk/install. Should take you to this area. The what's new in Sage 50 accounts. It will guide you through sort of the areas that we're covering today. It's got the release notes in there, how you can upgrade to the latest version. You give that a click and that would guide you through downloading and installing the latest version. And to guide you through that process as well. It's got all the information in there that you should need to get onto the latest version. So I just wanted to get that out of the way, because otherwise I get bombarded with questions all the way through the webinar. As you can probably imagine, well, why haven't I got it yet? That's the common question, or when am I going to be prompted to download and install it? As I say, there is that staggered approach. But if you want it, you can get that now. You don't have to wait for your email or to be prompted to download the latest update. Right, let's move on to some of the enhancements then. So the first thing to quickly mention is Copilot, and specifically try Sage Copilot. Sage Copilot's been in there was released on version 31.1, so general release that is. So we've been around for a little while now. Obviously, we're up to version 33. And I think the feedback I've certainly had, because we run separate webinars on this as well, we much in much more detail. But the feedback is, well, I want to have a go of it. What does it actually do? So you now have the ability to do that in version 33. You've got the ability to try Copilot. Now you will need to be logged in as manager or an admin user, and you will be prompted with the screenshot. I'll quickly show you this in a moment. And that enables you to fully explore Copilot. You'll have access to the Copilot features while you are in that session. So it's only for that session you'll have access to it. Try it a couple of times if you want to, but there are some settings. Obviously, you need to run through that each and every time. But it means that you can have a go of it without any further impact. So far, if you want to try Copilot and you want to start using it, you have to connect a Sage account, and that because it's the full Copilot version, it means that it can change the way that people need to log into the software. But with the try Sage Copilot option, it doesn't mean that. You just click the option and you've then got full access. So it'll just prompt you for that on the way in. Now, the same conditions still apply. To access Copilot, you need to be on, you're going to need to be on version 31.1 or above. Obviously, the try Copilot, something brand new to version 33, that one. You need to be either on Sage 50 Accounts Standard or Sage 50 Accounts Professional. If you're not sure about your version or your variant, you can check that within Help and About within your existing software. And also you must be UK based. So Copilot still currently isn't available if you are based in the Republic of Ireland. Now, if beyond Try Copilot, if you want to find out more about it, I've included a link to our full webinar for Copilot. So if you are interested in finding out a bit more about it, either obviously upgrade to version 33 and try it, give it a go for yourself, or if you just want to find out a little bit more about it and you haven't done already, then do get yourself registered for our webinar. I think our next session for that one will now be in January, because we just ran that one the other day. So that's the first thing you will notice if you haven't enabled Copilot. You've got the option to pause that message as well if you log in as manager yourself. So you can pause that for 7 days, 14 days, or you can just switch that prompt off completely so that you're not prompted every single time you're going into it. That's something to be aware of. Next is the ability to update the manager's email address. Now, the manager's email address is used as the basis for the company's, what you would term the cloud connection. So if you use any cloud connected services like bank feeds or remote data access, you might already use the likes of Copilot. You might use, possibly you might be on the early adopter program for Sage Connect, AI document capture. These are all connected services that potentially you need a Sage account linked. So normally the manager's email address is the one that's used as that basis for that connection. Now, historically, it was and it still is, if you're on version 32 or below, it can be a very disruptive and time-consuming process. It means having to take down those connected services. And there's obviously a number of, well, several reasons, and I've listed some of them there, why you might need to change that email address. So that particular person has left the business that used that email address. Maybe just the user has changed the email address. Maybe it's the wrong user was used to cloud connect the company in the first place. So maybe like a business partner did that for you, an accountant, and actually you want that reallocated within the business now. So as I say, it was very disruptive and time consuming to do that historically. In version 33, you've now got this new option. Now, there are certain conditions for allowing you to change it. I've included a link on the slide. So if you have downloaded that slide, it will take you into our help center. And this option, basically clicking it enables you to change that email address. And that's without the disruption to the connected services. So you're not having to take those connected services down, change the email address, and then reconnect them. You've just got a much simpler and slicker process to enable you to do that. I'm not going to demonstrate that today. It's almost like an admin task, that one. Something that you probably do once in a blue moon. So if you do need it though, just be aware, we've got loads of information on there. A couple of different scenarios depending on who is essentially what email address is classed as the business owner, and also which one is classed as the manager's email address. So depending on there's a few different scenarios you can have, and that can change the process slightly. But if you want to find out more, I've included that link so you can do that. Now I'm going to run a demonstration of the next one as well, because it might be one that you're not that familiar with, AI document capture. Now AI document capture has been around since version 31. And the idea of this, it supports the automation of your accounts payable process, so obviously on the purchase side. And some of you may have attended our AI document capture webinar that we ran a little while ago. And what it enables you to do is either manually upload or email purchase documents to the AI document capture service. Now the service will use AI to read that document, and it will draft the transactions ready for you to approve and post into your accounts. So you're not sitting there keying them in. Now when we ran that webinar, and I ran that webinar a while back, and the bit of feedback we got is it doesn't really, currently it didn't attach that document to the transaction itself. In version 33, it did. We listened to that feedback. I think probably at the time it was the glaring omission once you started using it. And we got loads of feedback on it saying, well, it's simple enough to attach the document once I've done it, but why does it not just do it automatically? So it does now. You've got a new setting in AI document capture. Now, AI document capture is something that's included as part of your subscription. You would be entitled to so many credits per month. That depends on your subscription itself, how many credits you are entitled to. It is what you would term a connected service as well. So a bit like Copilot and remote data access and bank feeds, it relies on you having a Sage account connected. So I'm just going to quickly run you through that, just for those of you that might not be familiar with it. I'm expecting that probably to be the majority of you. So I'll quickly share my screen. There we go. We'll get into version 33. See how quick my laptop is today. So I'm going to go into this one. This one I've already got connected, so I can see it's connected. It does say online. So we'll just log into that one. Now, if you haven't yet set up any connected services, when you do, you're then going to be prompted, rather than just a username and password when you're logging into Sage, you will be prompted for your email address and also your Sage password. Not every time. And now and again, just for security, you will need to authenticate as well. So you'll need some sort of authenticator app. Obviously, they're free to use from your mobile. And you may be prompted every now and again for a 6-digit code. I suppose a bit like if you were logging into your internet banking. It's the same sort of things. There's sort of that added layer of security. Right. Now, if you haven't seen it today, the latest support bulletin is out as well. That's what you'd be prompted for at the moment. I'll just close out of that one. Now, this one's already connected to a number of different services, remote data access, Copilot, etc. So I'll just go for a quick demo of AI document capture. So we'll go into connected services. The new setting itself, AI document capture settings, so I just accept that one. It's this one here, attach source documents. So if you get onto version 33 and you find yours isn't attaching those documents automatically, this is where you need to go. It should be enabled by default, this one, attach source documents. So I'll just leave that ticked. So this time, just go back to connected services, AI document capture. There's nothing sat there at the moment. Now for AI document capture, you've got two options. This is what you've already got on version 32 as well so far. You've got the option to manually upload a file, or it can just be emailed to an email address which will be allocated to you automatically. You can't change that. You can't select that. It will be allocated to you automatically based around your company name and also availability. Now I'm just going to manually upload that. It could be that you get your supplier just to email it direct to there if you wanted to. So I'm just going to manually upload a file that I've got prepared. So it's a PDF document. It's an invoice I've received. So I'll just choose to upload that. Obviously, I can upload as many as I want. Get the usual help style. And you can see it's now sat there waiting. So if I just click on it, I can see what that document looks like. Right. So it says processing. If I just click refresh, it'll force it to do it a little bit quicker. It tells me in this case there's a review needed. So I'll quickly review it. And if it does recognize who that invoice is from, you'll not have to specify this bit here. It'll just do it automatically. Well, I'll select it from the list. I'll then apply the default nominal code, tax code, and department values to any transactions it finds or any transactions it wants to create from that. And then it's completed for me. Now I can pop in an extra reference. I can change the nominal code, although it has picked that up. It's picked up the department from the supplier's record. I can change the reference at this point if I want to as well. And if you use project costing, that's linked in there as well. So you can see from that PDF, it's read that and said, right, well, actually there's two items on there, and this is the detail. So quite happy with that one. Filled in the details now, we'll just leave it at that. And it says ready for posting. Just select it and I'll say, right, yeah, pop that into my accounts for me. Now, it might not be as apparent when you're dealing with little invoices how much of a time saver that is. But if you think about, say, a 50-line invoice, sometimes deal with invoices which have a lot more items on that. It can be potentially a big time saver. Now that's disappeared. So obviously it's processed that one. It went on my supplier account, and it's this supplier here that I've posted that against. If we just pop into the activity, it means we've now got access to that one. So you see I was playing around with this one a little bit earlier just to make sure everything was connected properly. So it's got things like obviously your transaction number. It's got the two parts down here as well. You got your little icon here, your little paperclip. Now, even if you're not using AI document capture, you can still attach documents anyway. You just click the little plus sign and then you can browse, or you can drag and drop your files in there. But this one, basically, it will attach that document automatically. So I just click that little paperclip icon. It takes me into the folder where the document that was uploaded and used as the basis for those two transactions. And then again, I can easily access that. That means when if you're querying anything with your supplier, you're not having to dig that sort of paperwork out or anything like that. You can just see it all within the activity itself. So you've got your little paperclip icon there. Where else have you got it? If you pop into transactions, it'll be the last two items that have just been added there, these two. So I can either highlight a line of the invoice, and then we can click view attachment at the top. Again, takes me into that folder where I can double click that PDF and view it. The other way I can do that as well is just across to the right. You probably not noticed this one because of the width of the screen. You've got your little icon here as well, indicating that there is an attachment on that one. So again, if I just click that, it would take me into that folder. So if you haven't yet used AI document capture, great little option, that one. As I mentioned, just to quickly clarify as well, AI document capture works on this like a credit system. So it'll tell you your number of credits that you get allocated. This is on a monthly basis. It resets on a monthly basis. It doesn't carry any of your credits over, but it'll tell you how many you've got remaining. So the credits, it will use 1 credit when you essentially post that transaction. So just by having a transaction listed here and it not having gone into my accounts yet, it doesn't use a credit at that point. It's only at the point when I select it and say, right, yeah, I want to post that selected transactions. And it's not per line of invoice. It will be 1 per, essentially, what we would term a header transaction. So that's AI document capture. So all of the feedback I received when I ran that webinar, it was all about, well, why does it not automatically attach it? It does now. So version 33 makes it nice and easy. Right, let's pop back to our slides for a moment. Now, next 2 parts I'm going to cover really as I suppose benefits for those of you that are based in Ireland. Now, I can see from the email addresses that some of you are based in Ireland. Majority from the UK still, but some of you are based in Ireland. Few changes with regard to the return of trading details form, so the RTD. Few refinements have been made to the tax codes just to ensure that the transactions that are posted using those tax codes are correctly represented on that return. So the changes are to and these are the default tax codes as well. You may have set up others or maybe the equivalent as a different tax code number. So T20, T23 and T24. There's also some 2 new tax codes that have been set up for you. That'll be created automatically at the point of upgrading to version 33. If those numbers are in use, then it will use the next available tax codes that you have available. So if you thought you had it quite difficult here in the UK, yeah, in Ireland, we're up to T52. Some of them are very, very similar. But again, there's loads of supporting information in our help center if you need that. There's also the RTD form itself has been updated. It will now split the row that was previously merged for 13.5% and 9% rates. They will now show on individual rows. So just really to make you aware of that. Nothing really I can demonstrate that other than just give you that list of tax codes. Again, sort of linking in with Irish VAT. If anyone does both a VAT return for both Ireland and Northern Ireland, for instance, so if you're, let's say a business has a multi-company license and you work in sort of both, you've got companies that are based in both countries, then version 33 is going to be a bit of a godsend. Historically, if you were in that position, let's say you had a Republic of Ireland company and a Northern Ireland company, to switch between them, you would have had to change your regional options before you access that. You'd be forever changing it. Quite commonly, it would mean having, different computers. So having Sage 50 installed on one computer, which was set with regional options for Republic of Ireland, and another computer with regional options for Northern Ireland. Just switching between the two, as opposed to having to change your regional options. Now, version 33 does away with that sort of scenario. So if anyone's in that sort of situation where you've got sort of at least 2 companies in different countries, let me know. This will be a big time saver for yourself. So in version 33, the software does away with looking at those regional options, and instead it simply looks at the actual country that's set within the actual address itself of that company. And then it will apply the correct currency and VAT settings. That means that you can have them all on one list, and you're not having to sit there and think, oh, right, I'm going into this one, company number 2, right, I need to change my regional settings before I access it. You would just go in and it would pick it up. And that would go for upgraded companies as well. It's not just for new companies, it would be upgraded companies. So nothing to worry about. Hopefully for some of you, that will be a bit of, as I say, hopefully a bit of a weight off your mind, make things a little bit simpler, and save you a lot of time, hopefully. So, love that one. Right, moving on. Just to quickly mention. Now, I did mention at the beginning some of the options I wanted to tell you about are services that you already have available. So the new Sage Assistant. So essentially, you'll find this within Help, and if you're on version 32 already, you may have seen this as well. So when you're accessing the Help option, either by clicking the Help icon or pressing F1 on your keyboard, you'll have a panel. So you'll have a panel, and in there you'll be able to access Sage Assistant. So it's a bit like essentially a chatbot, uses AI just to try and get what you're after. Let me see if I can quickly demonstrate this one. So I'll share my screen. We'll go into the Help option. I'll just click Help on what I'm on. I'm on the transactions list. And if we just go down to the Sage Assistant area, just click Chat Now. Pop a message in there. When is the next webinar for Sage 50 accounts? Not that I'm biased, but let's see if it finds it. So it's going to come back with options as best it can. It's given me additional links for webinars and also training courses. So let's pop into webinars. Gives you a little bit of spiel about it. And again, it's provided me with a link. So hopefully you're familiar with this one. I'll just get rid of that. So this is our webinar registration page, which is where you'll have registered for this session from. Just while I'm in here, I might as well mention the corrections badge. If you haven't yet achieved that one, we're rerunning the sessions in January. Plenty of opportunities to either top up the sessions if you have attended some, and obviously earn that digital badge, but still the opportunity to earn that digital badge in January alone if you haven't done that already. Loads of other great sessions. We got VAT return, we got bank feeds this week as well. That just about sees us off for this year, and then our timetable for January onwards is already published. So there's the as I mentioned, there are full sessions for Copilot as well. If you want to find out more about it, get yourself registered. Right, next service to quickly tell you about is the Smart Funding and Savings Hub. Now, if you're looking for that type of service, it's a great starting point. So this is going to basically give you simplified access to the network of vetted partners. So they'll be offering funding, saving solutions that hopefully can support you. So help you to support knowing your credit health, save on business expenses, make sure you've got the best savings rates, and access funding as well. Now, I've included the link. Easiest way to access that currently, if you don't have that link or you haven't downloaded it, if you are interested in accessing that, just within your software, if you just go to your home page and you'll have a panel on there at the moment. Again, it's not specific to version 33, that, but it's sort of gone a little bit under the radar, that one. So I just thought I'd quickly mention that one while we're on the webinar. So nice and easy to access, and then you can take it from there. Depends where you want, wherever you want to explore at that point. Right, now for now, that's version 33 in a nutshell. What I do want to quickly mention is what's coming soon. So Sage Expenses, you'll start hearing about this in January. I'm expecting, from what I've heard, potentially this to be released and be available in January. Basically, it's an all-in-one expense management solution. So it'll be available via, there'll be a mobile app. So basically your colleagues can access this. And it means that you can log expenses, mileage, per diem, or I suppose what I would term daily rates. So entertainment, and you can do that on the go, and it's fully integrated with Sage 50, and you've got that sort of authorization element to this as well. I know when we've looked at this in the past, it's what everybody asks about when it's expenses. I don't want that going direct into the software. I want it to have an authorization step. So modern looking, saves you and your employees time, and hopefully reduces errors as well. So keep an eye out. You'll find out more about that in 2026. Now, as normal, I always like to encourage people to get involved. You can submit ideas, you can submit feedback via what we term our roadmap. Again, that's nice and easy to access. I've included a link there, but it means that you can access the roadmap, you can see features that have already been delivered, what's coming next, what we're working on going forward as well, but there is the opportunity to have your say. Now, to access this in your software, something that's been around for a long time, this one. Let me just get back to Sage 50. Again, on the home page, if you just scroll down, bottom left, you'll have the roadmap option. It'll take you to the page that was on the screenshot a moment ago. So here you can find out about what options have already been delivered, what's coming next, and again, have a look at what we're working on going forward. But there is this option here, submit an idea, or you might just want to have a look at what other people have said, and maybe vote on those as well. Give it, add weight to it. So obviously they're categorized, easy to submit your own ideas. Here's one I actually put this one on myself. I think it was just last week. We were running the corrections webinars for correcting journals. One of the things I looked at, I thought, well, actually you can't edit an opening balance against a nominal account or a bank account. Now, if you're already up and running, you're probably not going to benefit from that. But if you're brand new, you might think back to if you were involved with the system at the time when you set up Sage 50 accounts, you may recall, right? Was it an issue at the time? Did you key something in, and then rather than having to try and manually correct it, ideally you'd want the ability just to be able to edit or delete that. But fingers crossed, it's got 6 votes already, so got a little bit of traction. But some of them, obviously, some of them get their hundreds of votes. So attachments, things like amending a customer and supplier account reference, have a look at them, vote on them as well. Which options would you like to see included in the software? This is always a popular one, this one. I'd like to you've set up a customer, and you think so far down the line, you think, oh, I wish I'd given it this account reference instead. Or you want to revamp them all just to make things that little bit more structured. So it hasn't been included yet, but obviously the more votes that these get, the more likely they are to be included going forward. So don't just sit on your thoughts. Let us know. Get involved. Now, I don't think I've had any questions so far today. So if you do have any, please pop them in there, or even just comments, anything and everything, pop them in there. So to do that, again, you just need to click that little speech bubble icon, give it a click. You'll have access to that box in the bottom. If you do want a copy of today's slides, those are available to download. Remember, all of the information that I've covered today, it's available via that install hub, or if you just go to the general help centre, so sage.co.uk/help, you'll need to choose your software, Sage 50 accounts, and then from that, if you go into the install area, you'll be able to access information about all those enhancements that we've covered in the session today. Now remember, we've got loads of webinars planned in. Our timetable currently runs up to the end of January. So if there's any topics you'd like to see covered going forward, or whether it's a repeat session, or maybe it's a brand new topic you'd like to see covered, then let us know. We do have webinars on the radar for Sage Expenses. So as and when that is available, we'll be starting to run webinars on that as well. Also run webinars currently for MTD as well, for ITSA. So if you are interested, again, have a look at the timetables and you'll be able to get yourself signed up for those as well. Right, brings us nicely to the end of the webinar. Apologies for the slight overrun. I thought we'd easily get in within the half hour today, but it's a bit of an overrun. But many thanks for coming along. If you've got any thoughts or ideas that you want to share with us, if you can take a minute to complete the survey, it should pop up as you leave the session today. If you've attended webinars before, you'll know it's very quick to complete that. So if you can do that, always appreciated. Your follow-up email will be with you in round about an hour's time. So that includes a link to this morning's recording, and it will also include a link to our webinar registration page and also to our previous recordings. So if you are interested, do take a look and get yourself registered. Right, I've got no outstanding questions, so we'll end the webinar just at that point. Many thanks for coming along. Do get yourself registered for the sessions. If you are interested in bank feeds and also the VAT return, we've got 2 sessions for the VAT return this week it's tomorrow and also Thursday. So they're both at 11 o'clock. So VAT return part 1 and VAT return part 2. Do get yourself registered and I hope to see you on them very, very soon. Many thanks.